Hey folks, welcome to Unqualified, the fantasy football podcast that's been waking up in the middle of the night and running to work since 2017. I'm your producer, Rob Diesendorf, here with Sean Brady and Scott Johnson, two fantasy football rivals that have been sabotaging each other for years, but they decided to come together to help me wake up at the right time and get to work. How's it going, fellas?
Good. Sean did call you twice, but I don't think that worked you up. I don't think that woke you up.
That did not work. What happened was we were recording one night. I won't say which. And I fell asleep in the middle of the recording, and I woke up, and I thought it was the morning. I looked at my phone, and it said 9:30, and I really thought that I was late for work, and I ran out of the room to go and try to catch a cab.
That was your goal? No backpack, nothing?
Only to realize that I had been asleep for 10 minutes.
Yeah, if that. It was like 8. Do you feel rested now?
God, that was a time warp. It's weird when that happens.
So I feel like when I take like a weirdly timed nap, right? Like a 12-minute nap or a 7-minute nap. Not like a 30-minute one or 20-minute one or whatever you're supposed to take, like less. Or even like an hour and 10 minutes. And you're just like, what decade is it right now?
Yeah.
What time zone am I in?
Oh yeah, love a good where am I nap. That's what I call those. The where am I? Because you wake up first.
Oh no.
I took a nap every single day my entire junior year in college. And
did you?
Yeah, every day.
What time?
It was like a 4 p.m. nap.
That's a late nap.
Or you know what? Like it actually did vary by the day, but I don't know what it was. I just needed it. And those were some of the most restful naps of my life. Since then, every nap I take is like my heart rate rises as soon as I wake up because it's just like exactly what just happened to Rob.
Yeah, those are fun because you have about like a 5 to 6 second delay where you're in this Zen state when you wake up and you're like, I'm waking up, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no.
It's kind of brutal waking up from that stage though. You're just like so, I don't know. I just feel so out of whack.
You want to know what's my favorite though? Is when you wake up in that state and then you're it's like late enough and you're just like, I'll just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
That's the best.
True. That is nice.
I mean, at some point, like, are you saying to sleep when you realize defeat, or sleep when you realize it's still the same day and you can go to sleep?
Either one,
I
guess, right?
If it's like socially acceptable to just be like, oh, okay,
because at some point, if you're that late for work for real, you just got to give up. You just go back to sleep.
That's true.
There's no point.
Do you guys snooze your alarms?
Oh God.
Yes.
I set about 20 alarms in the morning, and I snooze 4 of them before I wake up.
Yep. I never used to, but now I always do. Like I literally went probably like 22 years of my life never snoozing my alarm, and
psycho.
In the 4 or 5 years since, that's all I do. My whole life is just snoozing alarms.
I feel like that's all I do in the mornings.
I have to set pre-alarm alarms. The first alarm is to wake me up, make me conscious.
Yeah.
I'm not going to move for it, but I need to be alerted.
Your brain set needs to be alerted. Yeah.
The second alarm is the purely snooze alarm. It's just there for no reason.
Now, let me ask you: do you roll that one over, like, or do you have multiple alarms set? Like, do you continually snooze the same one, or you got the whole time sector?
It's different every morning because I'm not technically conscious. So the first one I'll snooze it. Maybe the second one I snooze too, and some of them.
Oh, so usually they're both going off.
The goal is to hit the stop button so that it doesn't come back, right?
Yeah,
but sometimes
if you hit that stop button and you don't wake up, you're fucked.
Right. But a lot of times I end up hitting the snooze button by accident, or I just wake up with like 20 screenshots of my alarms. You ever done it?
I've had that.
That's just pure Neanderthal behavior right there. You just
fight or
wake
flight
up,
right there.
You just grab any button.
Oh my god, that's so true.
You just grab any button.
I think you need another nap, bud.
I can't even finish this podcast.
Oh my
man.
god. I feel like my story is not going to be nearly as funny now.
I was gonna say you're so tired you're making me need a nap. That's incredible.
I'm like yawning now more.
Yeah, sometimes you just grab any button. You just hope you get rid of that sound, and sometimes it doesn't go away. But then it comes back again, and then eventually, it's too much, and you just gotta say fuck it and get up.
So I guess
that's why I set 10.
So the only true alarm for you is the crippling anxiety of being late.
Exactly.
That's a brutal anxiety too.
The first four alarms are only there to make me conscious enough to have anxiety.
That's a good way to put it.
And then the anxiety does the rest. And that's my life. Live Moss.
You know what time it is. Games of the week in our Week 8 preview episode. Still trying to get the good vibes here from our previous episode. First game we got, Crunchwrap Supreme. In the Crunchwrap Supreme Games of the Week, Eagles at Bills. Bills are favored by -1.5. What do we got? What are we thinking for this game? Eagles, Bills.
Oh man, this is like I don't even know what to say. If you were to tell me that the Bills would be favored in this game before the season started, I mean, what? But I get it. It honestly makes sense now that we're here. The Eagles team really needs to make this happen because I'm sick and tired of being on their corner when they let me down week in and week out. I need them to turn it around.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is the Bills are a tough, gritty team. Josh Allen makes plays for them. I don't know. I mean, I'm losing confidence by the week with this Eagles team, but I got to stick with them just because I've been in their corner since day one.
They're your ride or die. You really have. You've been a day oneer with them.
It's because of that first week. Honestly, it killed me because I saw what they could be, and I need that to come back.
Yeah, they're low key pretty bad right now. Cornerbacks are one of the worst tandems in the NFL.
The worst.
Carson Wentz, brutal on Sunday night. It's not all his fault. The offensive line can't stop a nosebleed either. But he's now 9-15 on the road in his career, which is
damn
not that good. Devin Singletary is also a tough play on the Bills side. I think Josh Allen is a good play. John Brown is okay, but Allen's having a nice like QB 1-2 tweener statistical season. We've been saying it for a couple weeks now. In terms of this game, since 2017, Bills have been favored a total of 13 times, and they've gotten 11-2 straight up in those games, with 7-5-1 against the spread. Bills are also 7-2 against the spread in their past 9 games, dating back to last season. So I'm taking the Bills in this one.
Really well-coached team, the Bills. I think Sean McDermott is maybe the most underrated head coach in the NFL. Really, really well-coached team. That's
Coach of the Year candidate?
That stat says it all right there. I totally agree. I think Sean Payton might get it just based on what he's been doing with Teddy Bridgewater. Frank Reich could win it also, but I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Bills, what are they, 5-1 right now?
Yeah.
And they might be 6-1 by the end of this game. I can't do it. I got to stick with the Eagles because I know as soon as I don't pick them, they're going to win. You know what? Let's reverse jinx. Exactly. I'm going to reverse jinx it. Let's go. I'm picking the Bills -1.5 with the total intention of the Eagles finally paying off. So yeah,
I like that.
So yeah, give me the Bills.
Next matchup, Cardinals at Saints. Saints are favored by -7.5, 47.5 over under. Cardinals, bit of an off week statistically for Kyler Murray last week, but still dispatched with the Giants, largely due to Chase Edmonds, in my opinion. And I'm not even going to get into how ridiculous it is that they said David Johnson was active, and then after the game, the coaching staff was like, "Oh yeah, he was for emergencies only."
But he got the first.
I'm just
carry
not
going to
get. What was that?
He got the first carry of the game. There's no emergency
That's it.
at that point.
That's it.
Like if he's emergencies only, I would see him playing in the fourth quarter. If you're losing by 2 points, like that's an emergency. But the first play of the game is not an emergency. Sorry.
Well, you bamboozled the Giants, and you also bamboozled your fantasy owners of your David Johnson. So I'm pissed off. Christian Kirk might come back this week though, so he's a buy low.
Definitely buy low. I will say I'll simplify this for you though. Overall, I'm not playing the Cardinals this week. Especially, I mean, if David Johnson's playing, you have to play him. It sucks, but you have to.
Do you though?
I think you do. I mean, even given what last week was like, I think if he's active, you got to just bite the bullet. But
I don't feel good about it.
The Saints are going to crush them in this game. I know the Cardinals are a little bit frisky, like they make some things happen. Kyler's really fun, but the Saints are a well-oiled machine right now. Teddy Bridgewater is 5-0. Maybe is he 5-0, 6-0 this year? I think he's 5-0 this year, and I don't see that changing this week. Michael Thomas is incredible. It doesn't matter who's running the ball, but if Kamara's back, he's going to light up this Cardinals defense. Give me the Saints all day.
Before I get into like spread and against the spread and stuff like that, are you playing Chase Edmonds regardless of David Johnson's status next week? Because honestly, I think the answer for me is you would flex him. Yeah, because you can't afford him not being out there and getting 35 points on your bench.
Now, the only question is, because I'm actually not up to speed on Chase Edmonds because I don't own Johnson, but was he getting a slice with David Johnson still in there, right? He was still getting a little bit of production.
A little bit, here and there.
So, yeah, why not? I throw him in there. Just like I would actually consider playing Latavius with Kamara as well. I think it's kind of that deal where, I could see this game going in 20 different directions. I think 19 and a half of those directions, the Saints win big, but you never know.
You never know. Saints have covered the spread in 16 straight October games, including Sunday's win over Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And they're in a dome.
In their past 21 October games, New Orleans is 20-1 straight up and against the spread. Cardinals might not win on the road all the time, but they do seem to do a good job of covering. And past 10 road games, they're 7-2-1 against the spread, 4-6 straight up. I'm taking the Saints -7.5.
Same.
I'm actually going to take the over on this 47.5.
Same
as well.
Love it. I think we're simpatico right now with our picks.
Simpatico. Next game, Panthers at 49ers. 49ers are favored by -5. 41.5 over under. Panthers, Kyle Allen still a starter. Cam's still rehabbing from his foot injury.
Great game.
You think is he starting in your lineups this week though?
No, not against 49ers. Great game. I actually think the Panthers win this game. I think they need a little bit more. And this is a big time Christian McCaffrey game. They're going to need him to pull out all the stops, but he is more than capable. First off, love the 49ers. Love what they're doing. Love the defensive coordinator. Love the belly slides at the end of the game in the rain. But the Panthers are a real football team. They are coached by one of the only coaches I would take over Robert Saleh in our combat tournament, Ron Rivera. Riverboat Ron.
Riverboat.
Give me the Panthers. I really think they are capable of winning this game, and I think the Niners, I mean, look, I love them. I think this might be the game of the week. But give me the Panthers here in an upset, especially getting 5 points all day. I'll take that.
I think fantasy-wise, 49ers, you're still starting the running backs. Matt Breida's hurt again, big surprise. Hope he gets better. Tevin Coleman, you're playing still. Rough game last week, but that was more game script than anything, and it was torrential downpour in Washington. So you're playing the running game of the 49ers. You're not playing Jimmy G. Kittle, it sucks, but beginning of the season, I was saying, like, hey, these three tight ends are not going to do as well. They haven't.
You nailed it.
And Kittle is one of them.
You nailed it.
Yeah, Panther, it's a tough one, but Panthers, the pass catchers are tough in this game, too, because the 49ers defense is so stout. But I feel like Curtis Samuel could get through if you're playing like a daily fantasy. You want to do like a dart throw. He's a good one. In terms of the game and the game script, Panthers, since 2012, played in the Pacific time zone, right? Because they're going across the country, which is very important, and we don't talk about that at all. They've gone across to Pacific time zone a total of 7 times, and they've gone 5-1-1 against the spread.
Wow.
5-2 straight up. Also, they've won 6 straight games against the 49ers dating back to 2004. So they have the 49ers name. They don't play that much. It's probably it seems like once every 2-3 years. But 49ers haven't beaten the Panthers since 2001. And Kyle Allen this year is 4-0 straight up and against the spread this season. So Vegas does not like him for some reason. But I'm taking the Panthers in this one. I think they're actually going to win this straight up, too. I agree with you.
I'm with you. Let's go.
Love that. Next one. This is a sick game. Packers at Chiefs. Yeah. It's not unfortunately we don't have Mahomes, but it's still a really good game here. Packers are favored by 3, and that's because Mahomes is out this week. 48 on the dot, over under.
Yeah,
pretty big.
I would still take the over, but
definitely going to get there. Yeah.
Let's talk about these Chiefs, right? I mean, they definitely lose a lot without Mahomes. Like, he's the best player in the league, I think, at the moment. I mean, you're still starting Hill and Kelsey, but I think you definitely sit the running backs. If they haven't broken your will to live at this point, they will this week. But I'm actually most excited to see if we can see Andy Reid do what Sean Payton, Ron Rivera, and Frank Reich have done this year, which is win consistently with a second option quarterback at the helm. Unfortunately, I don't know if Matt Moore is up to the same standard as some of those other guys.
Not anymore.
But he might be. And it might be just enough to beat this Packers team that might be kind of ready for a little bit of a bounce back to earth. That's me trying to talk myself into it. But no, take the Packers here. They definitely smell blood here, and they're going to win this game handily.
Yeah, what we talked about, shrewd move, I think it was Wednesday we talked about that, not this episode, was handcuff your guys.
Yes.
And that goes for Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones. It's actually not even a handcuff here. It's pretty much a split backfield, right? Aaron Jones had those 4 touchdowns when Jamal Williams was out. Now is the perfect time to sell him high because now they're splitting the workload again. Jamal Williams got a receiving touchdown this past week.
Not only are they splitting the backfield, they're winning big games by doing that. Their 2 biggest wins of the year, the last 2 weeks, and guess who was, if not besides Aaron Rodgers, the best player on their team those 2 weeks? Jamal Williams. So
Jamal Williams,
he's here to stay. Sorry, Aaron Jones owners, if you missed out on Williams, you should probably go trade for him because you could start both these guys because look, I was kind of wrong about this offense. They have figured it out. It took a long time to click. We're in week 7. It's finally starting to really come to fruition. But Matt LaFleur, hats off, my guy. Like, that's a very good job getting that offense right.
Yep. Completely agree. Let's talk about the betting here. Past 7 games against the NFC. Packers are in the NFC. Chiefs have gone 1-5-1 against the spread. Packers have gone 6-1 against the spread, and they're past 7 against AFC teams. So looking pretty good there, but the Packers are favored in this matchup, so that's a little different than it would have been if Mahomes was playing, like I said. Since 2009, Packers are 7-15 straight up in road primetime games as well. So that's an interesting one. 9-12-1 against the spread. But I'm still going to take the Packers in this one. I think they're just a solid team top to bottom, and Matt Moore is not going to be able to get it done. Aaron Rodgers is on a heater.
I think this is like at the end of the year, this is like one of the crown jewels of the Aaron Rodgers MVP campaign going into Arrowhead, beating the Chiefs. Yep. Sign me up.
Love that. Next matchups we got Doritos Locos Tacos, properly hyped but missing some clout. Raiders at Texans. Texans are favored by 7. 51 points for the over-under. Darren Waller is top 5, if not top 3 moving forward, if you didn't think so already. Josh Jacobs, solid running back too, because he's getting more involved in the passing game here. This is a tough matchup, though. Marlon Mack just had 2 yards per carry against them, and the Texans' rush defense is a little stouter than people might realize because the rest of the defense is kind of overhyped. Texans side, though, Deshaun Watson is kind of having an up and down year, in my opinion. They'll have 2 good, brilliant games, and then one game. If you saw that game against the Colts, he was throwing off his back foot. He didn't look comfortable in the pocket. It wasn't that pretty. What do you think of this game? I
mean, boy, do I have a solution for that. He gets to play the Raiders. I mean, look what Aaron Rodgers just did to them. DeAndre Hopkins may go for 60 fantasy points this week. The Raiders just traded one of their starting cornerbacks this week, Gary and Conley, for a third-round pick.
What are we doing?
I mean, clearly it's probably an attitude issue, I'm guessing.
To the Texans. I just realized that.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. DeAndre Hopkins is going bonkers this week. But I do think the Raiders are going to put up some points, too. I would hammer this over right here. Because,
absolutely.
Because the Raiders, I mean... Look, we can make fun of John Gruden all we want, but I feel like lately we've been giving him more and more respect. He deserves even more. This guy can design a passing game. Like, Darren Waller is a stud, and Tyrell Williams has been playing really well this year. Derek Carr actually sneakily pretty good, slightly above average. That's more than we could have said the past couple of years. Like, I like this Raiders offense. I don't like their team, but I like their offense in kind of like the classic garbage time, empty stats vein. So I'm taking the Texans, but I'll still take the over because I think that both teams can put up points.
I'm definitely taking the over, and it's going to be a lot of garbage time for the Raiders. I think the Texans need a tune-up game at this point after losing to the Colts and like beating themselves, quote unquote, as they always say when they lose. The Raiders are 3-15 straight up in their past 18 road games and 4-13-1 against the spread. So yeah, I'll take the Texans in this one. Next one we got Browns at Patriots. This is a tough one. I don't know what to do here. Patriots are favored by 10, 45.5 over under. Browns were off on a bye last week, but I don't know. Nick Chubb, this is a really tough matchup for him against the Patriots and everyone else on that offense.
Here's what happened the off week, for the Browns. Nick Chubb walked into Freddie Kitchens' office. Hey, coach. Hey, Nick. Coach, if we're going to beat the Patriots or even have a chance, you need to give me 30-plus carries this week. Okay, Nick. Sounds good. All right.
Done.
Thanks, coach.
Sounds easy.
Give me the Browns to cover. I think the Patriots might still win, but we need to unleash Nick Chubb this week because Baker cannot beat this pass defense. Look, Sam Darnold struggled mightily against the Patriots. Every quarterback that played this year struggled mightily against the Patriots. And Baker was struggling before he played any defense that's even on this caliber. So give me Nick Chubb getting 30 carries. It's the only way.
And use him up until Kareem Hunt comes back.
Right.
100%. Let's see. Patriots, when they host an AFC team at home. Oh my God. You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
Since 2009, they've gone 59-3 straight up.
Wait, so this is an AFC team hosting an AFC team at home. Okay.
At home since 2009.
Makes sense.
And 39-20-3 against the spread. So I would say this is a trap game, but it's definitely not, I don't think. They're 11-4 against the spread in the past 15 games when they've been favored by double digits. Browns on the road have been 4-1 against the spread in their past 5 road games, 3-2 straight up. So, there's arguments for both sides.
Yeah, but I'll take the 59-3 argument.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. Broncos at Colts. Colts are favored by 6.5. This is the battle of the former Peyton Manning teams here, by the way.
It's also a total coaching mismatch, just like the last game.
Ooh.
Bill Belichick against Freddie Kitchens. I honestly think you and me might have a better chance against Bill Belichick at this point because we don't have any bad tendencies like Kitchens. But I mean, this Broncos Colts game, similarly, Frank Reich, top 5 coach in the league. Vic Fangio.
Easily.
Vic Fangio, granted, he has not been granted any favors from his GM, but not looking so hot right now.
Get him a quarterback, for Christ's sake. Flacco, I had to turn off Thursday night last week, the Broncos Chiefs. I had to turn it off, I swear to God. Flacco is the most infuriating and boring quarterback to watch, especially with a bad offensive line. That's like the worst combo. That's probably the worst combo out there of quarterback and offensive line.
Dolphins.
Damn it. You're right. Fitzmagic, though. Flacco doesn't have any Fitzmagic left.
That game, real quick, that Dolphins game this past week, every time something crazy happened, I was like, oh, it's on brand for the Dolphins. Fitzpatrick, dropped the snap and then ran for a first down. I was like, that sounds about right.
Ran for a touchdown, put his shoulder down. trucked a guy,
leveled someone. Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I want to save this part, the Jacoby Brissett part, for last. So we'll quickly say, since 2016, Broncos have gone 5-16 straight up, 6-15 against the spread. Colts are very middling, but they're 4-1-1 against the spread this season. So it's the best of any NFL team this year. So they're as good a bet as any. I'm hammering this for the Colts. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns at least for the Broncos. Over under 43.5 is kind of accurate, but I'll take the over on that.
I'm still. I mean, I feel like we're taking too many favorites here. I'm still wondering which of these teams is going to screw it up for us. It's not this one. This team is a lock. Not. This team and the Saints, I think, are the surest bets in the NFL right now because they're so geared. They're jacked up for every week of football, and every player on that team is buzzing. So give me the Colts all day. Totally agree.
Before we move on to the spicy potato taco matchups, we need to talk about this guy every single week that he produces. Jacoby Brissett on the Colts. My shout out Neil Johnson, father of the pod. We saw him play at NC State against Boston College when my sister was there, and my dad was like, "That guy's going to be an NFL quarterback." The way he looks at reads and like looks through his progressions.
Wow! And
lo and behold, he's one of the hottest ones right now. So, he's on pace for 3,700 yards, 37 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he's 26 years old. That sounds like a franchise quarterback to me.
It is a franchise quarterback, Scott. This guy's fucking good.
It's insane. The lowest interception total of Andrew Luck's career was in 2013 when he had 9 interceptions. And even then, he only had 23 touchdowns that year. Andrew Luck, this is. Andrew Luck had 40 touchdowns in 2014, but he had 16 interceptions. He had 39 touchdowns last year with 15 interceptions. So Andrew Luck threw way more picks than Jacoby Brissett is on pace for, and usually less touchdowns than Brissett as well. That's good.
You know how this guy wound up on the Patriots roster, right?
Yeah, the Colts traded. How you ended up on the Patriots roster? No, I don't.
Bill Parcells, legendary NFL coach. Like we talk about Belichick all the time about being the best NFL coach of all time. He's a disciple of Parcells, right? So that just tells you how much weight Parcells carries in the league. He recommended Jacoby Brissett to Belichick when he came out of college because he knew him through. I don't know if he was friends with the family or was friends with the coaching staff at his college team. But he just said, look, this kid is a great leader. His intangibles are all there. He's an NFL player. Take him as your third string quarterback. That quarterback room with Brady, Garoppolo, and Brissett is maybe in the top 10 of quarterback rooms of all time, rivaled only by the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers rooms. And Steve Young, Joe Montana. There's the only other situations where there's more quarterback talent in one room. Jacoby Brissett is a stud, an absolute stud. Also, shout out to Neil, hashtag Neil, father of the pod. I feel like that.
Hashtag Neil.
I feel like that's just a gift you're granted when you become a father. Like my dad, father of the pod, Mike Brady, he's the one that always, he'll be watching baseball, he'll be silent for 45 minutes, and he'll go, "Here comes a home run," and every fucking time that thing is gone. So
love that.
It's just that that seventh sense you get from being a father.
The pod fathers.
Ooh, that could be our spinoff podcast.
I like that.
I love
Let's do it. Dirty Mike and the boys. Next matchups we got. I'll go through these quickly. Spicy potato taco matchups, light but sneaky good. Bengals at Rams in London. Rams are favored by 12.5, 47.5 over under, which is that's ridiculous. It's not going to get there. The Bengals can't do anything.
This is a nice get-right game for the Rams. First off,
another one.
They're struggling. I know they're struggling, but the Rams are elite at certain categories that you never think about. They have one of the best medical staffs in the NFL. They have some of the best infrastructure in the NFL. And you know what that spells? That spells traveling well. They're going to go to London. They're going to feel right at home. They're going to be well prepared for this game. And the Bengals are a fucking disaster. So the Rams, this 12.5 point line, you could double it, and I'd still take the Rams. Give me them all day in London.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Easily. Underdog in international games, 5-18-1 straight up, 8-16 against the spread. Not good for the Bengals here. Rams never lost a regular season game to an AFC team under Sean McVay, and they're since 2017 they're 9-0 straight up and 6-2-1 against the spread. 5-2 against the spread when McVay is favored by double digits. I'm hammering this line all day long. This is a get well game for the Rams. I completely agree. Hopefully Brandon Cooks does something. What do we think of these pass catchers?
I mean, I just traded Robert Woods on one of my teams, traded him away. It really pained me to do it, but I had to do it. I owned him and Kupp. I said Kupp is the surer thing at the moment, so I'm going to stick with him. I'll trade Woods. I have Woods on my other team. I actually benched him for DJ Chark, which might be a trend that continues. I don't know. I need to see a lot more out of this passing offense. I think this week we will. Long term, I don't know if we're going to get there.
Completely agree. Next one, we got Seahawks at Falcons. Interesting, too. Seahawks and Falcons were two of the previous teams, not the Rams, to play the Patriots in the Super Bowl, too. Kind of interesting there. No line due to a possible Matty Ice injury here, so Vegas didn't have a line early in the week because they didn't know if Matt Ryan was playing or not. Doesn't look like he's going to play. It's kind of a far shot, but he only has an ankle sprain, so it's not as bad as we originally thought. Seahawks, if they beat Baltimore last week, I would be worried that this is a trap game. But now that they're coming off a loss, this could be a 30-point blowout and a get-well game for the Seahawks here.
We saw Matt Schaub amble on into that game last week, and all I thought about was the main character of Blue Mountain State and just how this guy is just collecting.
Thad Castle?
The quarterback.
Alex.
Alex, the backup quarterback.
His last name.
All I could think about is like how much money this guy has made in the past like 15, 16 years as an NFL quarterback. He had a moment. He was actually on my fantasy team back in the day. Matt Schaub, shout out to that squad.
On the Texans?
On the Texans. He was
good.
He was actually really good. And then he parlayed that into the far more secure and lucrative career, which is backup quarterback, where you just hold a clipboard and collect millions of dollars. And like, I could just picture him like when Matt Ryan got banged up being like, "Oh no, Matt, you're okay. You can get back in there." Like, "Oh, you got it. I'll just sit here and you get back in there." But it's not going to be pretty when he has to go face Jadeveon Clowney. Shout out to Clowney too. I think he might be next on Devontae Freeman's grudge tour because he went after Aaron Donald last week, and I think he should double down and go after Clowney because he needs to pick the scariest guy on each team and get himself ejected trying to go after them.
Yeah, it sounds like a smart move there, bud. Falcons are 1-11 against the spread. Their past 12 games played in October. Seahawks are 8-1-1 against the spread. Past 10 October road games, 7-2-1 straight up.
When this line comes out, I'm taking the Seahawks, and then I'm going to instantly hate all my picks because we are hammering the favorites this week. And
yeah, I know.
It doesn't. It feels like something's coming our way, and I don't know what it is.
Something's a brewing. I agree.
Who's it going to be? Who's going to? Let's pick before we move on. Who's the most likely to screw this up for us?
Let's see. Let me go back here.
Maybe the Texans.
Yeah, dude. I honestly, the Raiders aren't as bad as we thought. Well, they're 3-2 last week, right? Now they're 3-3. When they were 3-2, we were like, are they a good team? Before the bye. I think the Packers Chiefs, like Packers are coming off a high. They're coming off their high here. They just crushed the Raiders last week. Wasn't as close as the box score indicated.
Andy Reid, elite coach, long week.
Yeah, elite coach away at Kansas City. You know, kind of a trap game there. So
I would say one of those. I'm starting to talk myself into the Chiefs, actually. I kind of like Andy Reid getting 4 extra days to game prep. I kind of like the fact that Tyreek Hill is maybe the most electrifying receiver in the league on a per-game basis. That's the only one I'm really thinking we could be wrong about. That and, if the Texans have their Jekyll and Hyde, their Jekyll game? No, Hyde.
Who's Mr. Hyde? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? I think Hyde is the bad one, right?
Hyde is so is it?
Dr. Jekyll's bad. I don't know. What the fuck?
No. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Or is it? Yeah. No, that's it. And it's,
that's
what?
It?
They have Carlos Hyde on their team. So that's it. That's the one. All right.
Elite.
So you're betting against the Texans and you're betting against the Packers and you're betting against the 49ers. Every other favorite you're taking. Hell yeah.
Love that. Love
That's
that.
our gambling tip of the week. Parlay all those games together. Make yourself a cool like $500,000 on a $20 bet. You're welcome.
And then sponsor us. That does it for Week 8 preview.
Wow. We are like more than halfway done with the fantasy season. Or actually right at it. We're halfway done with the fantasy season. And
yeah, that's wild.
Almost halfway done with the NFL season. Wow.
That's insane. That's crazy. How is that possible? We just started. We do this every year.
We do it every year.
Jinx.
But I haven't hit burnout yet. I've actually the past couple weeks I have not this week. This past week I watched like every minute of football. But the couple weeks before, I guess week 6, week 5, even week 4, I did step away for quite a while. My teams also sucked those weeks, so it was easy. It was easy to step away, but it's nice. I'm keeping myself a little bit fresh, kind of like the Alvin Kamara situation here.
Ooh, fresh. Yeah, I feel like I don't get as. I still get pissed off. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know. If something happens the way it's not supposed to, I'm like, it sucks, but all right, let's move on. You know, and it's kind of infuriating that I'm like that because I want to be like hyped up about it, but. Like 5 teams instead of 10 will do that to you.
I mean, we also always have our food mascot tournament bracket to fall back on. Nice little
better
side
voted
gig.
Yesterday, people.
And I mean, we're recording this before the results come in, but I really hope you all did the right thing and put our favorites through. The Final Four is here. These guys have made it to the T-shirt.
This is it.
And this is it. This is where we separate the men from the Aunt Jemimas.
Wow, nice. Good. I like that.
So get out there and vote next week as we crown the final 2. Let's go.
See you later.
See you later.